Welcome back to the Bad Influence podcast, where we show you how to take control of your life and you don't have to break the bank. I am the bad influence that you need in your life, Bjordan Banderas. On today's episode, I want to get real about something that I have been observing for a while. This is something that I have felt, and this is something that I see other people doing. I feel that people have been chained by their past, and they're carrying that burden all over with them throughout their entire lives. And the reason why is because the past can feel like a heavy chain around your neck, dragging you back when all you want is to sprint forward. You keep replaying old memories, old grudges, old failures, like a broken record that refuses to shut off. Well, guess what? Today, we're gonna smash that damn record and free you from the loop, because that loop is literally holding you back. And probably you know the feeling, waking up with a knot in your stomach because something that happened 5 years ago still owns you. Maybe it was a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, or a moment of heartbreak that felt like it will never end. But here you are. You are here today, alive and still haunted. It's time to end that haunting. You don't have to be haunted by your past anymore. And the truth is, you can't change a single thing about your past. Not one. You cannot go back and change anything. We don't have time travel yet, so you can't change anything that happened. You cannot change anything that happened 5 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, 5 days ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. Nothing. But you can change the power it holds over your future. That's the thing that you can change. And let me tell you, the moment you decide to untangle your identity from what once was, you'll discover a whole new world of possibility. And today, we'll dive into why letting go is so damn hard, dissect the mental traps that keep you locked up, and hand you the keys to freedom. Trust me on this one. Once you drop the weight of your past, you'll wonder why you ever carried it in the first place. So let's break those chains. So, one question that I get when I talk to people about this, about to move on from their past or move forward, they always ask me this. Why the hell do we keep revisiting something we can't fix? Well, the answer is not as simple as you think. And that is because deep down, we're convinced it should have happened differently. We replay the scenario. Maybe it's that brutal breakup, that job you lost, or that friend you wronged you, wishing we could rewrite the script. But rewriting it isn't an option. Our brains struggle with acceptance. Yes, they do. We want to rewrite reality into something that aligns with our ideal outcome, clinging to the idea that if we obsess over it enough, we might magically change it. Spoiler alert, we can't. Like I said, we cannot travel to the past and change anything. Yet, we still let that past define us, letting regret take up valuable mental real estate. And this emotional attachment is like letting a thief camp in our living room, stealing our peace every single day. We let it hijack our thoughts and sabotage our future. It's a self-inflicted sentence, a life spent tethered to what was instead of embracing what could be. But you already know you can't change the past. What you might not know is how to shake it off. It's important to understand how to break this cycle and finally move on. Picture this. You're at the starting line of a marathon. You've trained for months, excited to crush those 26.2 miles, right? Suddenly, someone slaps a 50-pound backpack on you. Would you run with it? Hell no, because it's gonna be fucking heavy as hell. Well, that's your past. The 50-pound weight you willingly carried around day after day after day, year after year after year. That's what it is. And I've been there. I've been there. I lost my grandpa when I was 8. I was very young. I saw him die in front of me. And for years, I blamed myself for not doing more, not being there, not saying what I should have said. It was agony. And none of it changed a thing. Every day, I was haunted by guilt for something I could never undo. It wasn't until I realized that holding on to that regret only worsened my pain, doing nothing to honor their memory. And at that point, I dropped the weight. Yeah, I was able to drop that 50-pound weight because I realized that I was 8 years old. I couldn't have done anything. The adults around me didn't do shit. So I had to let go. And letting go didn't erase the past, but it freed me to move forward and live a life or live in a way that truly mattered. And if you got your own 50-pound backpack of regret, heartbreak, or missed chances, know this. You can decide today to set it down. To literally just drop it and be like, you know what? I need to move on. But before we dive into the how, let's talk about the beliefs messing with your head and keeping you stuck. The first mental trap is believing everything happens to you. That's the victim mindset. You tell yourself, I can't move on because I'm scarred for life. Or nothing goes my way, man. Why bother, right? Like every time I try to do something, it goes sideways. That thinking hands the steering wheel to your life, to your past, leaving you a passenger. And you don't want to be the passenger in your life. So you have to flip the script. Every setback, every heartbreak, every tragedy can be fuel. Instead of moaning and bitching, why me? Ask, how can I grow from this? Because even the ugliest moments carry lessons that shape who you become. And that shift from victimhood to ownership changes everything. It's like training a muscle, a very important muscle. You don't build strength without challenging your body, right? So it's the same thing here, because emotional resilience works the same way. The more you confront the hard stuff, the stronger you get. Think of your past as your ultimate gym. You've done the reps. Now it's time to show off the gains. But how do you break free from victimhood? That's a good question. So, let's look at practical steps and mindset tools that will help you toss that 50-pound backpack to the ground once and for all. And if I was able to do it, I know it took me years, but I was able to do it. You can too. It's hard, yes, but it can be done. And I want you to understand that it's hard. This is not going to happen in a day, in an hour, in a week, in a month. It's going to take longer because you're going to have to figure out what exactly you're carrying. So step 1, acceptance. This is hard. That's why I put it as step 1, because it was hard for me to accept everything that has happened in my past that I have no control over. So in this situation, you have to acknowledge what happened. No more denial or rewriting history. Face it head on. Don't stop. Just keep going. Face it head on. Say it out loud. Yes, it happened and I can't change it. That's how you acknowledge it. Yes, this happened, but there's nothing that I can do about it now. All I can do is move forward, learn, take the lesson, and move forward. This radical honesty deflates the power your past holds. Step 2, reframe the event. Don't label it as a curse, because a lot of people do that. I have heard so many people say that, oh, I'm cursed. It's like, really? You are cursed? All right, well, let's deal with this. So instead of saying that, ask, what did I learn from this? Maybe it taught you empathy, grit, or the importance of real friendship. Or it also taught you that you're stronger than you thought. Because a lot of the past teaches us that we're stronger than we think. So focus on the growth and see the past as a stepping stone rather than a fucking prison. Because a lot of people see the past as a prison. I have met people that are still haunted by things they did 20 years ago, by things that happened to them 20, 30 years ago. I'm like, that's a literally, it's a death sentence at that point because you're not letting go. You just keep carrying that 50-pound weight with you and then you want someone else to carry it for you, but that's not how it works though. So step 3, practice forgiveness. Ooh. This one is also hard because forgiveness for a lot of people is one of the hardest things they're going to try to do. And that might mean forgiving someone who hurt you or forgiving yourself, which is also important. Now, forgiveness isn't saying it was okay. It's cutting the emotional tie. And this is where people get it wrong. A lot of people think that forgiving something that happened to them in the past means that it was okay and that they have to accept it. In a way, yes, you have to accept it, but that doesn't mean it was okay. It's just saying, hey, I'm going to cut the emotional tie to this and I'm going to move forward. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to take the lesson and then I'm going to move forward with my life. You release resentment. You create a space for peace and progress. That's what forgiveness is. Step 4, live in the now. Ooh, this is super important, especially now, because you have to become hyper present. You have to literally understand that you're living in the now. You have to stop thinking about your past or whatever happened 24/7. You have to literally see it as an opportunity to learn, not as a present in this situation. And you can do meditation, breath work, or simply grounding yourself in the moment, because when you do that, it keeps your mind from drifting into the past. And when those old memories sneak up, refocus on your surroundings, what you see, hear, feel, and remind yourself, I'm here now. I've done this because of what happened in my life. I used to get like anxiety attacks, very bad. And then I started to learn about this and I started doing it and I'm like, it actually fucking works. So this is something that you can try. Now, step 5, write your future story in a journal. Oh yes, you have to describe the life you want. List your goals, your dreams, and your values. Whenever the past shows up, because it will, look at your future blueprint. Ask, does clinging to this memory help me reach my goals? If not, let it go. Let it go. You don't need it. Move forward. Step 6, build a support system. Seek friends, family, or professionals who encourage you to heal. Yes. Look for people that actually encourage you to heal. If you have friends with you or a support system that says like, you know what? Go to therapy or talk to someone about what's going on. That actually encourages you to do that. And also talk openly about your journey. Because breaking free from the past is easier when you have cheerleaders who remind you that you're more than your old scars. Yes, for me, it was my wife. When I went to therapy, every time I would come back home, she was there ready to listen to me if I wanted to talk. She was like, "How did it go? You want to talk about it?" Because she wanted to know how I was doing. So that's what I'm talking about. Talk about it with someone you trust. And step 7, take small, bold actions. Don't wait to feel ready. No, because that takes a long time to happen. So sign up for that class, try the new hobby, go on a date. Every proactive step you take sends a message to your brain. We're not living back there anymore. We're forging ahead, which is something that you need to do in order for you to move forward, to literally drop that weight that you don't need to carry anymore. And once you once you drop that weight, you're going to feel so much lighter. You're going to be like, damn, why didn't I do this before? But again, it doesn't happen right away. It may take time. For me, it took years. For you, it could be years, it could be weeks, it could be months. Everything depends on what happened to you and what you need to let go of. But follow these steps. If you decide to follow these steps religiously and watch how your grip on the past loosens. Like, this is what you need to do. This helped me. It has helped my wife. It has helped some of my friends. And I can tell you, like, you need to start taking the necessary steps to drop that weight so you can actually run your life the way you want to. But let's dig deeper into practical tools to reinforce these habits. One tool that has helped me is the drop the backpack visualization. In this situation, close your eyes. Imagine you're wearing a giant backpack filled with all regrets, pain, and memories. Feel its weight. Now, visualize yourself taking it off and leaving it behind. Do this daily until your mind accepts you're traveling light. That's what I was talking about. When you do this, you will feel light. But it all starts with your mind. It all starts with what's going on in here. And when you visualize it, I have talked about this in other episodes. When you start visualizing things like this, you literally tell your brain, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to feel, and then it happens. But again, it doesn't happen right away. Another tool that actually helps a lot is a mindful journal. You need to start doing mindful journaling. So each morning, spend 5 minutes writing down any lingering past related thoughts. Then, literally cross them out and write, I release you. I know it sounds dumb or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, but it actually helps because now you're saying to whatever's holding you back, to whatever you're carrying, hey, I release you. And you're seeing it. Your brain is seeing it. So now you're taking action. That's the first action, releasing it. Doing this tricks your brain into thinking you don't need to carry your past. Another tool is affirmations that shift your identity. So say, I am more than my past. I am a champion of my future, or the lessons remain, the pain dissolves. That's something that I use every morning. The lessons remain, the pain dissolves. I've said that for years every morning when I wake up, and it has helped me. Because repetition reshapes neural pathways, helping you embody a future-focused identity. You're telling your brain what you want to do, what you want to feel, and how you want to see yourself. And again, there's neuroscience behind this. Another thing that you need, another tool that you need is an accountability buddy. Find someone on a similar journey. Check in weekly. Share what past thoughts popped up and how you handle them. Support fuels momentum and consistency in your new mindset. Now, you might wonder, because I get this all the time, why all the fuss? The past is over, so does it matter if I carry it? Yes, it does, because your future suffers. Opportunities slip by when you're chained to regret, and relationships crumble under the weight of unresolved baggage. Your emotional well being also depends on how effectively you can release old wounds. Stress, anxiety, and even depression spike when you constantly replay negative memories. Yes, it does. Again, there's neuroscience behind this. Letting go isn't just mental, it's physical too. Freeing your body from chronic tension. Oh my gosh. Ever since I started doing this, releasing my past, my body has released so much freaking tension. I feel like a brand new puppy. Like, oh my gosh, my body's not hurting as much. My joints are not as stiff anymore. I can fucking do things. When I work out, I'm not as sore anymore because I'm not as tight anymore. So it helps you a lot. Plus, letting go opens doors to creativity and self-discovery. Without the static of old grudges blaring in your mind, you can tune into new possibilities, new goals, and new joys. You become infinitely more flexible and open-minded, which is important in life. Ultimately, leaving your past in the past is your ticket to genuine self-love, because by releasing what once was, you make space for what can be an expansive, fulfilling future. But let's tackle the usual doubts. One of the doubts that I always got that I always get when I talk to people about this, and I used to have these same doubts, is, but the past made me who I am. I used to say that. Probably you say that now. Well, good. You can cherish the lessons without clinging to the pain. Extract the wisdom and let the trauma fade. Owning your story doesn't mean dragging it everywhere. That's right. I can't forgive, they hurt me too much. That's another doubt. Well, forgiveness isn't about making them innocent. It's about releasing yourself from the chains of resentment. The anger you hold is like acid, burning you more than anyone else. Another doubt is, what if I forget everything? What's going to happen with me? I won't know who I am. Well, relax. Letting go doesn't mean it's going to erase your memories. No. It erases the emotional stranglehold they have on you. You'll still remember. Yes, you will still remember, but with a calm acceptance rather than paralyzing regret or paralyzing fear. And here's the truth. You can't change the past, but you can change its grip on your life. Letting go is both an act of rebellion and an act of self-love, believe it or not, because you're saying, I won't let yesterday dictate my tomorrow, and that's powerful. If you're tired of carrying around a 50-pound backpack of old wounds, start implementing these steps today. Embrace acceptance, reframe your pain, forgive, live in the now, and write that new future script. Because when you start doing this, you're going to feel way better. You have never felt like this if you're carrying that 50-pound weight or that 50-pound backpack with all your wounds and everything, with all your past mistakes and everything. You will never feel the way that I feel now. And I can tell you, it's a very exciting feeling because it feels good. So go out there. Start doing these steps. Go out there, talk to people, find your team, find everything that you need to find, learn the skills that you need to learn in order for you to achieve this. And like I always say, if it doesn't work for you, tweak it, make it work for you. Find a way that works for you. And that's it for today. Share this episode with anyone who's stuck in their own time loop of regret. The more of us who break free, the more we lift each other higher. Let's create a world that moves forward. This is the Bad Influence Podcast with your host, Bjordan Banderas. I'm here to push and challenge you to leave your past where it belongs, behind you, so you can sprint into a future worth living. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and remember, the past is a chapter, not the entire book. Take a deep breath, drop the backpack, and step boldly into what's next. Let's make it happen. And have a great day.